Come back.
We are here. Yes, we do.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the After School Special Club podcast. I am Chris.
I'm Mary.
This is your show for video game news, commentary, and stories from our stupid little lives, coming to you live every Saturday, except we're still not live, and I'm going to keep the intro that way, even though we're not live.
Consistency is the key to saying things so that you do not mess it up once we become live again.
Well, because that's the thing. I don't want us to go live, and then all of a sudden I'm like a fish out of water, like, oh god, I don't know what to do, and anyone could watch.
Yeah, I know, like any other fish could watch us and be like, that fish,
those aren't fish.
I'm out of water.
Okay, also, this is kind of tangential to that, but I saw on Reddit or something earlier today that I guess like our brain stems adapted from amphibians, and so like there's something about like hiccups happening, and like hiccups happen because like something in your brainstem thinks that you're a fish and like have gills or something. I don't know. And I don't know how true it is. But
I believe you just have to say it and I believe it. I already believe it because I've always wondered about hiccups.
Yeah.
Every time I like hiccup, I'm like, okay, is there something in my throat just like going up and down or like closing and opening? Am I because
I know it's your diaphragm spasming, but I guess like it's a vestigial instinct or something to like breathe through your gills. Like, I don't know. Like, I read the caption in the headline. I didn't actually read the article, so I'm like, I don't know if this is true at all.
So whenever you go to hiccup, really, you just need water. You need to go swimming.
Yeah, pretty much.
Your body's like, let's go swimming. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, boy.
Well, anyway, sorry we skipped another week. Summer is a busy time, and Mary and I have, things going on. So, but we're back. We're going to be a little more consistent, even though I say that, but I'm going on vacation in like 6 weeks. So we have 6 more weeks, and then probably we won't be able to record that week I'm gone. Maybe we can figure something out, but we are going to try to be more consistent now that like summer is slowing down and we're getting back into our groove. We both also got COVID, which was like uncontrollable. So
yeah, and it's okay.
Which
like,
I didn't give Mary COVID. Like, we didn't see each other.
I was about to say something. Like
you just got it separate of me afterwards.
But it's so funny. It is so funny because, all right, I guess this is our segment on our week so far.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to catch up since it's been so long. This is kind of like not really a week encapsulated, but more so just in general things that have happened.
All of the time we've missed.
Things that have happened. Yeah. So I had to get COVID.
Mm-hmm. I had to get it.
I had to. Everyone else is getting it.
Everyone else has been getting it.
Feeling and missing out, I'm just like, when is it going to be me?
And then you're like, finally.
I'm going to be the one. I'm like, oh, why did I say that? I don't want it anymore. This dress doesn't fit. Gotta return it. But I remember filming that episode, so recording that episode that we did last time where we talked about you getting COVID. I felt so like out of it and tired that episode the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, my energy levels are so low. Next day, started the symptoms. And then right then, and it was funny because I was like, every time Chris like is like sick or something, I'm gonna knock on this wood here.
Oh.
Maybe you can hear it. Every time that happens, I get it.
Yeah.
Like close to, I don't know, because not only like sicknesses, like you injured your hand, then I injured my hand.
Oh, yeah,
you spilled something on your laptop. I spilled a smoothie on my laptop.
Oh, I forgot about all that.
So Chris. This is like Final Destination. You got to make sure that I'm the non-playable character you have to guide through. So you better make sure nothing happens.
I know, it is so weird. We have like just a weird like soul bond where it's like, because like I said, like I got COVID and then Mary got it immediately after, and obviously we didn't see each other because I was sick. Mm-hmm. I was like, so it just happened totally independently of me getting it, but
it happened digitally.
Mm-hmm.
We just do it.
A digital transmission.
Yeah, damn it. It's an NFT.
Oh, fuck. That's what I gave you an NFT.
Now that I know what to do with it. If I gifted you an NFT, what would you say? I'm like, hey, here, Chris, I gifted you an NFT.
I actually don't know how I would react genuinely, because I'm just like, I don't want an NFT. And so like, I don't know. I'm like, what would I do with it? Like, print it and frame it. Like, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
what the
You put-
NFT what the rules are with NFTs. Like, I don't.
You just put it as your Twitter picture, and that's it.
That's right. There is an option
That's
to
it.
set your Twitter picture as an NFT.
Yeah, and that's all.
Thank
That's all.
God.
That's really it. Yeah.
I've been waiting.
But besides that, getting COVID, that was okay. We're moving on.
It's behind
That was
us.
a moment. It's behind us. It's way behind us. But last night I went to karaoke.
Ooh.
And with my friends, and I sang because you previously showed me that Goofy. There's renditions of Goofy like singing these songs like Smash Mouth,
right?
Like Evanescence and Bring Me to Life. And I thank you so much for showing me that because
Of course.
that was incredible. So someone played Smash Mouth, of course, because it's karaoke.
Right.
And I just started singing in the Goofy voice.
Oh my
And
God,
then-
obviously.
Yeah. Our mutual friend was like, I just thought you were doing a Southern accent the whole time. I was like, no, that was my Goofy accent.
It was Goofy. Gorsh.
But yeah, that was magical. And I had such a good time last night. But I'm still recovering from not drinking and being sober.
Yep. So it's really funny that you mentioned the Goofy renditions because
Mm-hmm.
maybe a week ago I showed one of our mutual friends the Goofy those exact things, the Evanescence and the Smash Mouth. And we were sitting in our in my backyard, and I was like, "Have you heard these?" And she was like, "Oh no." So I think that's, again, really funny that I brought them up again, and then yesterday you're like, "Oh yeah,
You're like my Nostradamus.
seriously."
So
Uh-oh.
look out. Yeah.
Wow, that's so funny.
But yeah, there's just so much to catch up on. So, okay, let me just do a quick bullet point.
A download.
There's bullet points.
A PowerPoint presentation, if you will.
Yes. COVID. Next slide. Concert. Next slide. Karaoke. Next slide. Skincare is going great. Wonderful. Next slide. TBD.
What the future holds, we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my TED Talk.
Wow, thank you so much. Yeah, we did. We did go to a concert together. So Mary and I, and a couple of our other friends, but Mary and I went to the Wild Hearts tour, which is Julian
Yay.
Baker, Sharon Van Etten, and Angel Olsen, and it was amazing. Like, such a good night. Like, all three of them are really amazing and really talented, but just like, I was so blown away by all their performances. Like, they were just incredible. And it was at the Greek Theater in Berkeley, which is like an outdoor amphitheater. And we sat, like up on the way top in the hill. So we had like a really nice like view down at the stage and just a view out. There's like a clock tower, and then you could see over into San Francisco at certain points before the fog rolled in, as it does.
Yeah.
And it was, oh my God, it was such a great night. That was so fun.
Yeah, it was my first time to the Greek, and the Greek is very well known. It's established, and people are like, hype it up. And I'd always heard about it. And I got in there, I was like, oh, this is why people love it here.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And nice job getting the seats in the grass. That was clutch, because then you don't have to sit on the pavement.
Yeah, on the slabs.
Yeah.
Because the actual like seating part of it is all like, yeah, they're basically concrete slabs, because again, it's like supposed to be like a Greek theater. So it's just like these marble seats, and they're not like chair sized, it's like you essentially lay in them with your back against another concrete slab.
Chiropractic.
Yeah, right. So very ergonomic. But so yeah, our friends like charged up the hill. We ran up that hill.
In the war, we charged up the hill.
We kind of did. Like, we got in there, and our friends were like, and I was like, oh, okay.
The back, like,
and then again, like the stairs too are also just like, whenever I'm in the Greek, I feel like a child. Like, everything there is really big to scale. So it's like the stairs again are not like normal stairs. They're like these marble slabs. So you're like big strides. But we finally made it to the top and got like amazing seats by a tree in the grass. Had a lovely night.
Yeah, it was so great. It was so much fun. I'm so happy I went Thank you for inviting.
Of course. I know. I've been waiting for months because I got those tickets like, I don't know what, like 4 or 5 months ago or something when they first announced the tour, and I saw they were coming to Berkeley. I was
Yeah.
like, boop.
I put it on my calendar to, like, little scroll. I think I said hearts.
Hearts.
And they were hearts. But that's completely ambiguous. Like,
It could be
it
anything.
doesn't help future me. It could be. Like, it could be a date night. Who knows?
Who
Like,
knows?
so ambiguous. And lo and behold, I did forget. I was like, so our mutual friend at work was like, "Oh yeah, the concert." And I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like Pikachu. I was like, "Oh, what?" Tickets that I paid for, not tax though. I didn't pay the tax, but tickets that I paid for previously is tonight. What?
What the?
But it was great.
It
was
did.
one
It
of
came
those
up
good
pretty
feelings
fast.
because you're like, yeah, it was one of those good feelings though because then you're like, yes, I have something fun to do tonight.
I also, though, I can't find my knife. So I always have a pocket knife. And I obviously took it.
Oh, you threw it away.
Oh my God,
before
you're right.
The metal detectors, yeah.
That's right. Because I got home
Yeah,
like the other, because yesterday my roommate and I were like, because she also lost her knife that night. And I wonder if she also gave it, because she was also like super high on mushrooms. So I wonder if she also, because I was like, buzzed. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I totally forgot the other. Yeah, when we went through security, I was just like, oh fuck, I forgot that I had this, and I told him just to throw it away.
Yeah, because it's not like the person. Like I've done that before going through a TSA. I had a box cutter on me. I didn't realize it was in my bag.
They're like, you.
And
can't
he goes through
bring
the.
this in the
Yeah, he goes. But I got it. So my hypochondriac, like paranoid brain, I like was going through my bag before I walked, like right before, and I saw like the box. There was 2 box cutters, not one.
Wow, you had
there was 2.
Dual wielding.
So many boxes. Yeah. So then I just like I like threw them into like the garbage can in a rush. I was like, and then people around me were probably like, she's trying to bring knives on.
She's trying to kill us.
Yeah, but no, though, yeah, because you were lined up in front of me, and I remember him saying like, you can't bring this in.
Yeah.
And you were like, just throw it away.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck,
it's not worth it.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, because literally yesterday I was like, "Where's my knife?" Because I like whenever I take stuff out of my pockets, I just throw it on my bed or like on my armchair.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't find it anywhere. Wow, mystery solved.
Yep.
Another mystery solved on the After School Special Club podcast.
Job well done.
Amazing. Can't wait to get paid.
We know who done it. We done it.
There's the security guard.
Yeah. Security guard's like takes the knife. He's like, I've been wanting one of these pocket knives for a long time.
Do you think he kept it? It's a good knife. It's a nice knife. And I always think like all the stuff that they probably confiscate or like throw away, I'm like, surely like sometimes you like go back in the trash and take it. Because like that's a pretty good knife.
Yeah, he invites a date over one time. He like comes in the room. And there's like just like a memorabilia of like products that he's taken from people
Just on
not
the
being
wall.
able to go through. There's like drugs just like pinned to the wall and like knives just like loose. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, if it was a good knife.
Because I think about what I would do. And I would probably, you know, if it was something nice like that, because it's like a $200 knife too. It's like pretty good quality.
Oh crap! Oh man. Okay, yeah, that adds another layer to this. That adds an expensive layer to this.
Should have stuffed it up my butt.
Yeah.
But also
With
no,
the blade
because
out.
it has metal components, and I don't know if it's like the kind that would set off a metal detector. You know what I mean? So can you imagine? I go through and it's like beep, and they're like patting me down, and I'm like, they're like, and I'm like, oh weird, it must be a malfunction. Okay, bye.
Yeah. Someone's like, he's got a knife up his butt.
And I'm like, ow, it opened.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh.
What a nightmare.
No, yeah, that'd be horrible. No. But yeah, that was really fun. Sorry about your knife.
Yeah, it's okay. I can get another one. But now that I know what happened to it, I can purchase another one because I know I'm not getting it back. I should have been like,
so
is there a
it's
coat
relief,
check? Can I just like check my knife in and come back for it?
A knife check. A knife check,
A knife
please.
check. Just a bunch of little drawers with knives in them.
My commemorative 1949 caliber. Can I get that? Gun checked.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. That was last weekend? Yeah.
Yeah, last weekend.
Yeah, because the week before that, I was on vacation visiting my family.
Yeah. Did you talk about that at all?
I don't think so. So I went back home 2 weeks ago on Thursday, and spent 5 days with my family. I came back on Tuesday, and it was just really great. I hung out at my parents' house, and like I got to see my brother's new house because they sold their first house and bought a second one that's like family sized, or like not family sized, but like suitable for raising a family. Because my brother just
Mm.
had uh his baby, so I got to meet my nephew,
Yeah.
and he's so cute. So I saw him. I think I saw him like
Yay.
pretty much every day because they were babysitting him the night that I got in. My dad picked me up. My mom stayed
Mhm.
home with the baby, and so he was there. And then the next 2 days were like family gathering days. So I got to hang out with my family, play with my nephew, and it was just really nice. And the weather was really nice. It was in the 90s and it was humid, but it wasn't like super unbearable because it was like low
Mhm.
90s. I feel like once you get close to like 100, that's when it's like with the
Oh yeah,
humidity.
take me home.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was all around very nice, and I had a really good time.
Good. I'm glad you had that time with them. And the East Coast, I love the East Coast.
Me too. I always forget
I want,
until I go back that I'm like, oh yeah, I love it over here.
yeah, it's very beautiful. Well, that's good.
But I think that's pretty
So
much
I guess
it,
that,
right?
yeah, I guess that catches us up to our lives now in the current present day of today, the day of
Let me
days.
see. I believe we should get into some video game topics.
Topic of the week.
And it looks like you get to go first. Look at you.
I'm first. Oh my god, I'm such a big girl. Um,
You can do it.
so I can do this. I know I believe in myself. So I want to talk about the Kirby concert. Have you heard
Yes.
anything about this? Yes.
I have not. Like, I have seen it, but I have not
Uh-huh.
looked into it.
Gotcha. So the Kirby concert is celebrating the 30th anniversary of Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a one-time only music festival, essentially. And it's going to be streaming live. So anybody can watch it if they want to. And it's going to be on August 11th. So by the time this episode goes up, it'll be on that Thursday. So it'll be like 2 days later, essentially. So basically this is like from the website. I'm just pulling this. So to commemorate the 30th anniversary of Kirby, a one-time only music festival will be held featuring a large big band style ensemble of 35 musicians performing a variety of genres. This event is a musical event in which you can enjoy original medleys of songs from past titles in the series while reminiscing of your memories with them. A large LED monitor at the venue will also feature a moving Kirby.
Oh my.
He moves! Yeah.
Oh my.
We look forward to having an exciting festival together with everyone. We hope to meet you all at the online venue. So yeah, and there's some like really cute pictures. I don't know if you can see it in the notes, but I love the commemorative Kirby gear
Mm-hmm.
that they got for him. Like he's like wearing a little Kirby 30th Music Fest shirt, and he's got a little beach towel around him
Oh.
with a little like glow stick. Like he's living, he's vibing. That's what he's doing right now.
He's living his best life.
He is, and the Kirby music is really good. So I think I actually will tune in for this just because I'm a fan of Kirby,
Mm-hmm.
and I love these kind of events because I don't really see this kind of happen too much.
Right.
Where it's like an online concert just for like a specific game. I know we went to the Final Fantasy Symphony, but that's like something different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is like an online event, and they're actually doing things outside of just the event
Yeah.
to kind of celebrate Kirby's 30th. And he's 30 years old.
Aw,
Wait,
he's
I'm
a real
I'm
adult.
almost 30. He is. I'm almost 30. Wow. Kirby's about my age. That makes me feel better about myself. So the Kirby, okay. I don't know if you've heard about this, but the Kirby Cafe in Japan. Have you heard about that?
Yes, I have.
Yes. I want to go to this damn cafe so badly. Basically any kind of cafe they have in Japan that's video game themed. Like I know they have a Final Fantasy cafe,
Mm-hmm.
and they also have a Capcom cafe, which I really want to go to.
Yes.
But specifically, I want to go to the Kirby Cafe. So, in addition to the online event at the Kirby Cafe in select locations in Japan, they're also going to be celebrating the anniversary with special edition menu selections.
Ooh.
So, there'll be specialized merch for the occasion with 30th anniversary flair, and also things like huge. There's this picture of like this woman sitting on the couch, and there's a life-size Kirby
Oh
sitting
God.
next to her, like a plushie, with a little stick, and it says 30th anniversary. It's just all so cute. I think the merch is just amazing on this. And I think they did a really good job, like hyping up this game.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me like want to go back to try to beat the new one that just came out.
Yeah.
Too. Have you beat that yet?
No, I've really only been like playing it kind of on and off. Like it's one of those things, like a lot of my Switch games, where I like when I want to just play something for like an hour and I don't want it to be like super involved, or like I don't want to sit down and play, you know, like a super immersive AAA game and spend, you know, hours doing that. Like it's my kind of like quick sit down, just want to play a little bit of something today. That's more so what I use it for. So I haven't actually sat down to try and like plow through it and beat it, because I feel like I'm still probably only like a quarter of the way through. I don't know how many like worlds or like environments there are, but I'm still only on the third one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did you see hold on, I might show the plushie. I want to show the plushie. Cuz this thing's cute. I want it.
I want it.
My birthday's coming up, just saying. Okay.
Just saying.
I'm going to try to share the screen right now. Let's see if it works.
Ooh.
Do you see it?
Oh my God, I do. And it's perfect because it cropped right into the window, so I don't have to adjust anything.
Love that.
I'm like, wow, guys, Mary looks so different. Look at her. That is so
I'm happy.
cute.
This is me primo happy. This is like everything in life is going well. I've got a cane that says Kirby 30th anniversary on it. There's a woman next to me.
Yeah, you got
gently
a cute
caressing,
woman around your shoulder.
Yeah, caressing my foot, it looks like. She's grasping the foot. Yeah, this is just so cute. And this is on the Japanese website. So I don't know what retailers you can go to in America, like in the US or other like general regions to get these things, because it seems like it's like a Japanese exclusive.
Right.
But you can still go on the website and try to navigate it. I was like trying to navigate not knowing anything, but I was like, I know how a website works. I know how buying things work.
I can do
just
website.
click on this and this. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to show you that.
Oh my God, adorable.
Yeah. I'll stop presenting.
I will no longer present. Oh, you're back. Wow, okay, I do have to say, I'm amazed that there were no technical difficulties with any of that.
It's because we had good intentions.
Exactly. Because what I was imagining was like, oh, she's going to like stop sharing her screen, and then it's going to do the thing where like now my thumbnail is on the part that OBS is recording, and now there's just going to be two of me. But it didn't. And I'm sorry for anyone who is listening who didn't get to see how cute Kirby was, because that was pretty adorable.
Pretty cute, wasn't it? Yeah. I just believed the second that I was going to share my screen, I was like, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, you're like, I'm about to fuck all of this up.
But the optimist in my brain that's trying to get out so badly, like it's trying to get out of the shackles.
Yeah. Well, we're putting the positive energy out there with good intentions for recording this podcast, and so everything worked out. Wow.
Manifesting goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna actually be there. I'm gonna be in attendance at the Kirby concert. I like the idea of going up to people and being like, "Oh, what are you gonna do tonight?" I'm going to the Kirby concert.
I'm going to the Kirby concert.
And then like I act all like I flip my hair.
Yeah, you're like
I walk away. They're like, "Fucking loser."
You're like, what?
What? What's a Kirby? Be like, is that the new artist? Is that like, yep.
Yeah, Kirby, it's the most prolific artist of our time, actually.
Kirby.
Yeah.
You have to say it like that too. Kirby. Kirby. Ooh, Kirby.
Oh, Kirby. Uh-oh.
It's a different kind of concert. Oh, got flagged.
God. Okay, when is that happening again?
That is happening August 11th. So by the time this episode comes out, it'll be like 2 days later, because I upload on Tuesdays. So
gotcha.
It'll be like 2 days later. So if you want to be in attendance, you literally could just type in like Google like Kirby concert. It takes you immediately to the website. You can go onto the streaming at that point. They have links. So I'm
closing that night, but I'm like, maybe I'll put it on my phone at work and then just have it propped up.
And you're like, because I think there's gonna be like people are gonna be dressed up. Like, at least there's 35 musicians, so I feel like there's just people from all different types of like gaming, like the gaming woodworks are gonna come out for this and be like, we love
Woo,
Kirby.
we love Kirby.
And I love video game music, so
Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
I know any chance to like go to a video game concert, I will take it. Because like yeah, when we saw Distant Worlds, that was amazing. Just all the Final Fantasy music.
Yeah.
And they had a really good
I felt like we were among our people.
Seriously, and they had a really good like set list. I don't know if it's still called a set list when it's like an orchestra.
It's called a fancy set list.
A fancy set list.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was it was really good. And I would love to see more stuff like that. And I know that they have, I think Square Enix does other like video game concerts besides just the Final Fantasy one. There was a Kingdom Hearts concert going around for a while too. I don't think they do it anymore, and I never got to see it, and I was kind of bummed.
Ugh, man, they're like, there's just too many games with too many music that we can't do anymore.
We can't do it anymore.
They keep coming out with new ones. Oh man, I would have loved to see that. But
it would be cool too to see the guy who did the music for The Last of Us. I forget what his name is, but the guitarist.
Oh yeah, that'd be very intimate.
Yeah, because those songs that he did for the game are just like,
yeah, I would probably
plucking these strings right here. I'm pointing to my heart for anyone who's listening.
I'm pointing to my my area.
My special zone.
My area is your area. This area is my area.
From California.
No, right? It's your area.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is. Yeah, it's actually it's not your area anymore.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
According to the law.
But yeah, that was my topic for the week. My big topic, my little game topic for the week. Besides what I've been playing, because I have been playing a lot of games this week. So,
well, that's fun.
That was it. Mm-hmm.
So my topic, I didn't have the chance to really write out like any like news stuff. I guess we kind of wanted to just have a more chilled, first podcast back after a week or so. But there was an article that I found like maybe like 2 weeks ago that was published on gamesindustry.biz, and it's an article about Supermassive Games, so the people who did The Quarry most recently, Until Dawn. They've done all of the Dark Pictures series. So it's Supermassive Games top 3 rules for narrative-driven horror. So this was a news article, again, published on gamesindustry.biz, that was based on a, I guess, keynote speech that was given at a games conference. And Will Doyle, who is the, I believe, creative director on the Dark Pictures anthology, he was giving a speech and he was talking about what Supermassive believes the top 3 qualities of good narrative-driven horror are. And so I thought it'd be interesting to kind of talk about those points briefly and then discuss them a little bit, because at least for myself, I think that those games that they've created over, the last several years have been really important for the horror space in the games industry, because I feel like they're just very unique in their game design and they're very engaging, and I feel like they do horror in a different way than we're used to with other horror games that are as well known as this series is now. So yeah, I thought that I would go through and maybe just read off some parts of the article and talk about what their 3 qualities of narrative-driven horror they believe should be in every horror game, or what makes a good horror game, I guess. So they start off with, I guess, saying that one of the biggest things is you want to create consequences. So in the article they say, Will Doyle is quoted saying, "In a way, you're playing as a director rather than a character in the story. It offers a lot of freedom, and if you don't like one of the characters, you can just kill them."
I love how he just says that blatantly.
Like he knows what they've
true.
Created. No matter how many people live or die, the story is designed to give you a fairly decent play experience. If a character dies, the story just rolls on. And so he presents an example of this in action. He describes a player moving through a part of the game, exploring an area, solving puzzles, but at some point they'll reach a decision point, and this is resolved with some kind of player input. be it a multiple choice decision, a quick time event, and something that they either have to succeed at or they'll fail at it and it'll kill the character. So I do think that consequence is definitely a big theme in those games, because and like, I don't know about you, but like, even me with all of my anxiety, like, I'm always like, oh my God, like, what's going to happen if I make this choice? Like, what, like, is this character going to die? Like, what's going to happen to them? Because, also, it's not always some big stakes decision, which is something that he also mentions in this keynote speech, was that not everything is a life or death thing. There's smaller consequences that happen in the game when you make choices that affect the character you're playing as, other characters, certain outcomes in the, plot tree, if you will. And
Mhm.
he does also mention that being important to kind of keep the game and keep the experience engaging, because you're not, it would be like if you were playing something or watching a movie and it was just like only jump scares. It's like after the first one or two, it gets boring and it doesn't it doesn't really affect you as much anymore. So
Yeah, and it brings like a personal taste to it because or a personal touch to it, because if you feel like you personally were the reason why this person died and you like them or you wanted them to live,
mhm.
you feel like a sense of failure.
Yeah.
And you have like a sense of like fear of like what's going to happen next because that person died.
Yep.
And you don't feel like you have the complete story because when that person dies, they aren't in later scenes. So
Right.
like that storyline is kind of done. Like they're done.
Yep.
And I have an example of I was playing through Man of Medan recently. I beat that
Oh, hell
because I
yeah.
never played it all the way through. And I beat it. And there's a part that made me so angry and so mad because it seemed so small. The decision was so small, and then someone died. And I am usually good about keeping everyone alive in all these games.
Mhm.
I'm very adamant about that. I'll restart things. I'll like make different decisions. I'll pause the screen for like an ungodly amount of time, like 5 minutes while I
Mhm.
think about it. I'm like, and then I'll go on. So I'm very like passionate about saving these people's lives. And Man of Medan, there was this moment where just picking up a wrench, which you think, oh, pick up a wrench, that seems useful.
Right.
He can use that for something. That becomes a murder weapon for one of your other characters, and then that person dies.
Mhm.
And I'm like, shouldn't have picked up that wrench. Yeah, but it brings you in. It really pulls you in, and there is a consequence. And I feel like those games, they write the consequences so well.
Mhm.
And it motivates you to play. It motivates you to buy the next one. It motivates you to become a fan
Yeah.
because it creates a sense of urgency. It creates a sense of feeling like you want to do better.
Mhm.
You want to try harder. You want to actually like focus and pay attention, which I think are kind of hard things to do, especially in this kind of gaming world right now when we have everything thrown at us all at once and it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to, yeah. So that's awesome. I'm happy to see the next two that he has to say.
Yeah. And I do think also it does keep you on your toes in a way, because you're like, oh, I made this choice and like this is what happened, and now it's going to affect the game going on. So you're like, well, oh God, like what have I done? Like how is this going to change the future of the game? And like what's going to happen with other characters? Like is this going to affect other characters? And so yeah, I definitely think that having those consequences and making it a very choice driven game does make it a lot more engaging.
Yeah, for sure.
So uh, that was what the speech kind of started out with. And then he goes on to talk about what I mentioned earlier, these 3 rules of choice. So the first one is fairness. And Doyle says the game must offer fair choices, and that I don't just arbitrarily die after making the wrong choice. Bad moves should be foreshadowed in some way, and there's an element of skill to my decision making. And he also
Mm,
adds it's really important to make sense of a choice, or sorry, to make the sense of a choice clear. So perhaps you can
mm,
use NPCs to actually spell out what's at stake in a dialogue before you make your choice. It's important to present contrasting options. There's no point in presenting a choice that effectively fulfills the same purpose on each side, which I think is definitely very, very true. Like, because there's so many instances where you're given like just two choices, and you're like, well, fuck,
yeah.
like.
hmm
I've definitely had a couple times, and I wish I could recall specific examples off the top of my head, but I've definitely had a couple times where I really was stuck and was like, oh my God, I don't know. Like, I don't know what choice to make. Because
Yeah.
either way, you feel like there's going to be a big consequence, and you're like, I don't know if there's
Yeah,
a
because
right choice.
they tend to do especially the two decisions is like help someone, like help someone up off
Right.
of the floor, like help someone escape this monster or whatever, or whoever's chasing them, or escape.
Right.
You know, it is like one of those choices does come up in these games sometimes. And yeah, it's like, okay, if you go to try to save this person, you could die too. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they already look like they're pretty much dead.
Right. So you're like,
I mean, it seems like they're
is it
dead.
worth helping
I might as
them?
well run away. Yeah, but then as it turns out, you pick help because I always pick help. Like
Same.
regardless, I'm like I'm always gonna try to help
Me
them.
too.
And most of the time, like even if they're like bitten up or like they look like they're dead, they come back later sometimes. So,
Right. Because I
yeah.
definitely feel like if you don't see them die, they're not dead yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've noticed that for sure with their game design. At least I think, like, if you don't actually witness them being killed or dying, they're not dead, and they're going to come back. So, because I always do that too. I'm like, oh, I have to help them. Because I always do, the first time I play the games through, I always do, like, okay, I'm going to try to let everyone live. And then the second time is when I, like, fuck shit up on purpose. So.
Yeah, that's the fun part. That's the really fun, yeah.
Right.
Pressure's off a little bit.
Right. Because you also already know what to expect. So it's kind of like the second playthrough is you just have, I feel like you have a little more fun because you can just be like, ooh.
I wonder what's going to happen. I don't really care what happens because I know what happens. Yeah.
So, yes, that was fairness. So he also mentions that you want the story to have drama.
Oh, those games for sure have drama.
Right?
Yeah.
So the story has to be compelling, and there has to be conflict and dramatic pacing, leading to a satisfying ending. So Doyle says it helps if your players feel like they're involved in the most important developments of the story. If you let the main story just occur and only shape choices around minor branches, you're taking away the player's ability to shape a dramatic parody. And so he goes on to say, it might sound really cool to give players an opportunity to kill the main antagonist in the first scene. However, it's probably just robbing your story. Try to make choices that affect characters where possible rather than just being world actions.
Yeah, because I was thinking about, like, speaking about that, like, killing someone off in the first chapter or whatever. I was wondering, like, if I could play through one of the games one time and just, like, purposely try to kill people as fast as I can.
Right.
Just to see what the story would be like. Just to see how if it would just end right there, roll credits, and be like, over.
Bye.
You know, bye. And then, like, something would happen. I want to do, like, a death run where I let that happen. Because I usually don't. I don't do that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I feel like, yeah, and I feel like obviously they're designed so that you can't just, like, end the story like that. And even, like, with, like, I was playing The Quarry the second time, and I was deliberately trying to kill someone, and, like, they didn't die. Like, they didn't die. They lived at the end. And I was like, what the fuck?
The whole time?
Yeah. And I was like,
Wow.
I tried so hard to kill Jacob. The, like,
apathetic
I knew.
I kind of thought you were going with that direction.
And I was like, how is that? Because, I mean, spoilers for anyone who hasn't played. Like, when you're in the house at the end and you're being chased, I, like, every opportunity I gave him to be captured by the guy chasing him and, like, getting stabbed and, like, pulling, like, I think I fucked up.
Like failing the QuickTime events?
Yeah, like failing the QuickTime events,
okay.
like all that stuff. And I think I made, like, one choice that, like, saved him. And I was just like,
oh, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, all my hard work of trying to kill this guy.
That's cool. Yeah, that really does mean that they bake that into the system to kind of, like, think about that and be like, okay, well, there's obviously gonna be people that want people dead for certain reasons.
Right.
We're not just gonna give them, like, the cake on the platter and just be like, here, eat it. Like, they're gonna be like, you have to work for it.
You have to work for that cake.
Yeah, you do. You have to fail everything and then they still live. They probably purposely made that character like you couldn't kill him.
Right, because they knew
tried.
like everyone would be annoyed by him, so they're like, we're gonna make it really hard to kill this guy.
Yeah. Okay, that's really interesting though. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Playing into those games.
So then the last rule is agency, which I feel like we've talked about a little bit. So players feel as though their choices are making a sizable impact on the story and not just watching events unfold regardless of their input. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so Doyle goes on to say it's important to make consequences responsive to the choice or action that determines that. So if I choose to hide in a closet, my character should, as soon as possible, go hide in the closet after I make that choice. If I choose to say something, the phrase that I've chosen should come up in the conversation as soon as possible, not right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And so he explains when a game is branching, it's important to signal it on the interface somehow, which all of the games that they make do that. And he mentions Until Dawn, you get the butterfly effect that pops up on the screen when you make an important decision that affects the direction of the story. So
Mm-hmm.
essentially letting players know, hey, like you just did something that's like world altering, basically. And so
Yeah,
like
like
knowing that,
somebody will remember
yeah,
that.
somebody will
Yeah.
remember. I know, remember, because they don't have that in the, or no, they do still have that in the quarry, but that was always my favorite, where it's like this person will remember. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and I was watching, sorry, like side tangent, this is related to that. I was watching a stream, Nextlander, they were streaming this like click and point adventure game called Gabriel Knight.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, like they were just playing the game. It's an FMV, and which is what I want to bring up at the end when we're done talking about the last topic of this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he in the game, he like has a wallet, and can decide to like take it or not take it
Mm-hmm.
in the game that the next lander is playing through. And he decided to put it down and not take the money.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, wallet will remember that. So good.
Oh my
Oh,
god, that's
I
good.
died.
Yeah, because it
Really
is, and
good.
it always like cracks me up. I'm like, oh god, what have I done?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, did I do good? Did I do bad? Did I do what I do? Yeah.
So, um, yes. So essentially, yeah, making it known in the actual like UI of the game or in the interface how, or not necessarily how, but what, like no, like letting the player know that the choice that they've made and like the agency they had um is affecting the game in some way, excuse me. So Doyle also says, with these tools, players often just assume that the choices don't really matter. When we tested Hidden Agenda, people would say their choice doesn't matter in
Mm.
the game, even though they'd only seen one part of it. When we added the ripple effect interface, we didn't get that feedback anymore. So, again, just,
That's interesting.
yeah, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I remember because like I played Hidden Agenda. I didn't know at the time that like they were related, and I
mm-hmm,
don't think I knew for a minute that they were related. But I remember playing that game, and I was actually a little. They've definitely like honed their craft more since that game.
yeah,
I'll say that they've definitely like headed in a better direction with all of the kind of decision makings and things like that.
yeah,
But I could see why that argument would exist without the ripple
yeah,
because yeah, like you didn't really feel like you were really in the game, like
right.
as you do in the newer installments of the games they're making now. But yeah, that's interesting.
So yeah, essentially, yeah, just making sure that players know when you do give them that kind of agency, right? Like that level of agency, making sure that they're aware that the choices they're making matter and that they're doing something. So he also then at the end of his speech gives tips on implementing horror and using things like reveals and jump scares in ways that don't become predictable. So I kind of touched upon this earlier a little bit. He says, every time you see something scary, it loses terror. So try to use slow reveals of your monster or whatever source of that fear is, which I feel like is very true. They definitely do the slow reveal. You see a shadow or you see something move over there.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know until like mid game what the actual creature is that's terrorizing your characters. So
Yeah,
he also says jump scares jump scares
jump squares.
are quite divisive. If you overuse them, people complain. If you don't use them at all,
Mm-hmm.
people aren't scared. So we find when they work best is when you build up tension. Then just before the scare happens, you have a split second where you think, oh, it's safe. And then it suddenly hits you when you're not expecting it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with if there's too many, it's just a waste of time at that point.
Yep.
I remember going to like even like a scary movie like in the theater, right? You could just time it to know when a jump scare was happening because the
Right.
music would go down, be quiet, for like an ungodly amount of time, be like
Right.
a minute silence, and I'm like, "There's a jump scare. Come on, there's a jump
Come
scare."
on, I
And yeah,
know.
there would be a jump scare, and I'd be like, "Come on, going all day here." Jump scare the movie, one, two, and
Jump scare the
three.
movie.
Yeah. um, yeah. I do like how they don't use it too much in their games. Again, because I've played Man of Medan the most. That's the most recent game I've played.
Right.
There was a jump scare that actually got me real good, and I wasn't expecting
Which
it.
one was it?
And it's when you're going to you play, I forget the character's name. You're going in a bathroom though, and he's the guy with the glasses. He has glasses on.
Um,
And
yeah, okay. I don't remember any of their names either. I haven't played it in a while, but I know who you're talking about.
yeah, so he's going into the bathroom and he's walking past the stalls, and the camera changes. So when you're walking in, it shows him from far away and like a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you go into a certain area, it pans close up shot of the stalls, and he's walking in front of them.
Right.
And
Oh, I do
you
remember
walk, and
this.
there's nothing. Yeah, and there's like a dead body or something, and it like turns and it twists its body around,
Mm-hmm.
and it like it's a flash. And then by the time you're walking, they timed it so well to when you're walking, when you're starting to walk off the screen to where the camera changes again,
Mm-hmm.
you miss it, like it's gone.
Yeah.
Like you don't have the time to like really process it till after it's done. And that really scared me. I was like, "Huh?"
What?
You know, because that was a smart jump scare because they timed it perfectly
Mm-hmm.
to where it wasn't just a like a broad generic one, and it's not like you could it wasn't in your face. It was very subtle. It was a subtle jump scare. Those jump scares are the worst.
Yeah.
Because they're subtle.
The thoughtful
Yeah.
ones are the worst.
Yeah, because they're the worst because they scare me the most, which means they're doing their job well.
Right. And so
That
then,
makes sense.
just to round everything off, so he closes by saying horror games are about building and then breaking suspense. So let your audiences know when they should be scared. The protagonist is a vessel for the viewer. You live through them on the screen in some way, so try to engineer moments where they're experiencing real fear. And I definitely think like that the concept of building and breaking uh the horror, I guess, is very true. Because I think about, games like Resident Evil, right? Where you have like safe rooms. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm in a room, I'm in a space, not always a room, but I'm in a space with a typewriter, or tape
Hmm.
deck or whatever it was in Biohazard. And like, you're like, okay, like the music changes, or you just see like that item and like, okay, like in this moment, I'm safe. Like nothing will come and like attack me here. Nothing is chasing me here.
Hmm.
We're good. And then
Hmm.
what's even better is when the designers break that expectation too. Because do you remember in I think it was Last of Us Part 2 with the workbench in one of the apartments where
Oh
if you don't
yeah.
where you get
No, yeah.
ambushed, and if you don't kill the people
Hmm.
first. And
Yeah.
Last of Us kind of does a similar thing where they set you up to think you're safe when you're upgrading your weapons at a workbench.
Hmm.
And so I remember that was one of the like jump scary moments in Last of Us that really got me, because I was like, oh cool, workbench, do 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 do, and then you fucking get attacked, and I remember just being like,
Hmm.
ah.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, I was like, oh no. I was like, that's not what. Oh, okay.
Right. And then of course
I
the
was very
second
shocked.
time I played through, I knew it would happen, so I killed the people in the apartment first and then went to the workbench,
Mm.
and I was fine. But I was like, that's such good game design, because they know they've set up this mechanic where you feel safe. And so it's like, well, how can we again keep people on their toes by breaking expectations and like invading that safe space, I guess.
Yeah, and there's another example that I was thinking of because the original Resident Evil 2 for like the PlayStation and all those.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in that game, like the old school Resident Evils, the zombies like they stayed to their rooms. So like if you walked into a room, you kind of knew the zombies they were going to be there. Some of them respawned, of course, some of them didn't.
Right.
And the safe rooms, there were safe rooms that like you could go in and save, and there's a box you can like put all your equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And in the remake, they actually like took their old like safe space usage and they kind of twisted that
Mm-hmm.
into where zombies in the remake can open doors.
Yeah.
They can go into other places. They aren't just like confined to the areas that they were in the originals.
Right.
And I think that's really cool because then you're playing with people that played the originals,
Mm-hmm.
really liked it, feel like they have that kind of safety net. Take that away.
Yeah.
Be like,
Rip
no,
it out from
actually,
under them.
we redid that one too, and they have that like nemesis like tall guy, of course, chasing you. And
Right.
anything like chasing you that's invincible that you can't really
Oh my god.
like
That's
beat.
tall.
That's tall. I have a thing about. I think I've talked about this briefly before, but I have a thing with like really tall people,
Mm-hmm.
like and like creepy tall things. Like I can't do it.
Right.
That's the one thing that gets me. Um, I just what can they see up there?
Everything.
Everything.
They can see your
But yeah,
thoughts.
no, I agree. I agree. I think that's one of the best like game designs in horror to be able to like use jump scares proactively and intelligently and not
Right.
just throw them out.
Yeah. So I thought that was it was a really interesting article, and it's a really good read. If anyone wants to actually go and read the full thing, because I was mostly just reading the quotes, but the person who put it together wrote a really well written news article with other information between all those block quotes. But yeah, but that was all I had. I just want to talk about it because we love horror games, and I think Supermassive makes really great horror games. So
Yeah, they do. And I think you know, kind of done with like the big topics of the week, but I think as you coined the other week, a little tasty tidbit.
oh yeah, tasty
Um,
tidbits.
little tasty tidbit. Speaking of horror, going into it,
Mm-hmm.
have you heard a lot about the mortuary's assistant? The mortuary assistant game?
I No, I mean, no. I've heard of it, but I don't know too much about it.
This game is like I'm very interested. This is like one of those games that I really want to play, but I won't play alone
Hmm.
because it just seems very scary because it combines kind of like body horror and supernatural horror
Oh, yeah.
and like demons and like ghosts and stuff like that. And it has like a 9 out of 10 on Steam and people are
Oh,
loving it.
shit.
And people are streaming it and it's everywhere and it's really highly rated. And it's right now only on PC.
Hmm.
It'll probably get released to other things maybe later, maybe once it gets a little bit more popular.
Right.
But I didn't really like dive too deep into it. I was just interested in it because maybe it's a game that we could play because I don't want to play it alone. I don't want to play it
You
alone.
should.
Um, because basically you are a mortuary's assistant, just like the title says, and the person who's in charge has to leave for like time off or they're like vacationing
Hmm.
or they're leaving the city, and you have to step in to kind of like take over for the night. It's kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's, but with dead
Wait,
bodies
hold on.
and
Sorry, I'm gonna
um,
look it up because I think actually I haven't played it, but I think I watched somebody stream it.
okay. Yeah, so in the game, like you pull out these bodies to like perform your mortuary things you got to do,
Oh
to the
yeah,
bodies.
I did watch someone stream it, and it's really good. I remember being really good.
Yeah, the graphics are good. It looks scary. I don't know because I've been watching playthroughs, but I think there's a character that like ends up chasing you throughout the whole thing. Like
Hmm.
he's kind of like this entity that's like always there
Yeah.
and like watching you. And it just looks so well done. Like it looks like what we were talking about before with like Supermassive, how they do what they do with horror so well.
Hmm.
I feel like this developer with this game did what, they do well
Right.
to the best that they could have with this game.
Yeah.
And I really like well-made horror things. If it's not well made, I don't want to watch it
Hmm.
because horror like movies freak me out and I have a really hyperactive imagination.
Right.
So things that like go in my brain, I kind of sticks with me. So I'm very selective with what I watch and consume when it comes to horror.
Hmm.
And this game I do want to play because I feel like it's like on the verge of, how Conjuring is really good,
Hmm.
Insidious is really good.
Yeah.
It's like that type of thing where like I'll dive into it if someone else plays with me and it's good. I
Yes.
feel like, yeah.
Yeah, I do
Anyway,
remember it being really good. And I don't remember how I first saw it. I'll admit, I'm going to say this. I'm not usually the kind of person to watch like the really big, popular YouTube gamers, but
oh yeah,
I do watch Markiplier every once in a while.
oh
Um,
yeah,
I like him a lot. I like him a lot more now. Like when he first got popular, like 2015, like 2014, and he was like a rage gamer. I didn't like him because I find that really annoying. But he's
yeah.
like grown up really well and become like I feel like a good presence, and he does a lot of horror games. Like he has an entire like he'll play like one-off games. Like if they're really good, he'll do like a full hour of just one game. And then he also has like a series, 3 Scary Games, where he'll like bop around between like Steam horror games. And they're always really, really good. And so whenever I like
Mhm.
play any of those like smaller horror games, I feel like that's usually where I find them, because he obviously picks the best of the best. Like he's like 30
Yeah.
million followers, so like he's not gonna play stupid shit games. you know
Do you do Ghost House? Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like I get a lot of my like Steam horror game recommendations actually from his videos, because I go, oh wow, this is actually really well done. Even some of the super simple ones that are like 30 minutes, just some of them are really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like maybe he played it or someone else. I don't remember, but I definitely watched someone play through it.
Yeah. So again, I think the only way I'm gonna play that game is if someone else plays it with me. I'm not playing that alone.
Yeah.
I
Even I was
yeah.
creeped out like just watching it, and I was like, I'm not even the one playing it.
Yeah. It's one of those games. Yeah. So that was just a little tiny little morsel, little baby food of the week that in gaming that I was interested in.
I actually have one too off the top of my head, because I was going to write an article about it and I haven't.
Mhm.
But did you see they made a backbone controller specifically for PlayStation?
No, I did not see that.
So there is an article on the PlayStation blog. So PlayStation collaborated with Backbone, which for anyone who doesn't know is essentially a handheld controller that you put your phone into, and you can play games on your phone with a controller. And so I guess they partnered with PlayStation and made a PlayStation compatible controller, so you can actually stream games from your PS5 and maybe PS4 to your phone with an app, with a special app, and then play games on
Oh
your
yeah,
phone.
I'm seeing it now. Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Wow. Okay, the design's cool.
Yeah, the design is really cool. I'm not interested. Like, I'm like, why would I do that when I have a PS5, and like the graphics are not it's like it's gonna be shit because it's gonna be on my phone. But I think
the battery's gonna go like to 5% when
right.
Put up a game.
But I do think it's cool. Like it's cool that they have like their entire own app, so you can access like your PlayStation games and play them on your handheld. And I guess like it would probably work fine for games that aren't like AAA massive like 60 gigabyte games with impressive graphics. Like I'm sure it would work well for smaller games or like indie games. Like I'm sure it would work well with like Stray, or something like that.
Yeah, or like even Stardew Valley. I feel like that's a good Stardew Valley
Minecraft
game. Like a chill, those are phone games like to chill out and just kind of do those kind of things. Do you think this is their answer to like the Steam Deck and everything that's going on with like how Switch is like still so popular, and how they're still getting so many sales, and PlayStation's kind of not doing so hot right now just because nobody can get their hands on a PS5? Not that nobody wants it. There is demand for it. It's just the supply issue with it.
Although this is...
And like I wonder
No, sorry, continue.
But I wonder if like, because I like a lot of people were like thinking about PlayStation, why they haven't made another like PSP or like PS Vita,
right?
Because those were like super popular and people love them so much, and I love my PSP, and I think it was really well done. And like people are wondering like, why isn't that coming out? Like, why don't they make a new one? Like, what's their solution to Switch? What's their solution to Steam Deck? And I guess this is like, going in that direction. And I guess by the time this holiday season, there'll probably be PlayStation 5s in stock, I would say, more so.
Yeah.
But I wonder if this is like them going like, well, throw them a bone, throw them a backbone.
Throw them a backbone specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're like, oh god, we have to get into handheld gaming again. Oh god, we don't have enough. We can't make another PSP fast enough. Just turn your phone into a PlayStation 5.
You do the work. We'll do some of the work. You do the rest of the work.
Oh my god.
PS Vita.
Yeah.
I want another.
PS Vita.
Yeah, I want another PS Vita. I want another like PlayStation handheld.
Yeah.
And this is awesome and cool, and I like it. It's not what I wanted, Chris.
No. No, I definitely won't get one. Like, it's not... I don't know who it would be for. Like, some of these things, I'm like, who is this for? And again, like, I'm not a mobile gamer. I don't enjoy playing games on my phone. Maybe some people are really into playing games on their phone to the point where they would buy a controller rig for their phone. Like, maybe that's who it's for, but it's like, that's not my thing. I'm definitely not going to buy it, but I thought it was cool that they made one, like, specifically for PlayStation. But that was my tasty tidbit. And I will say, I I wrote an article about this recently. PlayStation is planning to have PlayStation 5s for the holiday season. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
they tweeted, and like, you know, with all of the COVID restrictions lifting, specifically in Shanghai where a lot of the components are made, they were like, oh, we should be able to source what we need more readily and in more abundance. So they say they're hoping to have more PlayStation 5s for the holidays, but we'll see. Doesn't matter for
we'll see.
us, but you know, for the other people.
Yeah. No, I did. Yeah, they have to, like, they have to do that because I feel like everyone's kind of gearing up. Like Xbox, they're gonna have it available.
Yeah, and the Steam Decks too are also everyone who had a reservation got bumped up to a different quarter. So like people with reservations for Steam Decks in Q4 got bumped up to Q3, and then people who had reservations for the beginning of next year got bumped up to Q4 of this year. So I think everyone is finally getting the parts they need and are getting the stuff that they have to source, and they can actually produce these consoles now again.
Yeah, I wonder if Steam's gonna partner with like a big box retailer, like one of them, like, you know, Best Buy or like somebody else, like, and exclusively be like, you're gonna have it in store, because I feel like they're gonna want them in store as well as online.
I do want a Steam Deck.
Me too.
I should put my hat in the reservation bucket.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting right now for the Analog Pocket.
Yeah,
I'm still in the Q4 for that, and that order was placed last year.
Right. When you do get it, though, we should talk about it on the podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely we should,
because I feel like it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. We already have like games for it, like Game Gear stuff, like things to hook into it, so it's gonna be really fun. But yeah, Steam Deck. I think I want a Steam Deck more than I want an Xbox.
Same. Because also you could probably, because here's the other thing. I know it obviously it comes with Steam, but you could probably get the Microsoft Store on it and get Game Pass.
Yeah, Game Pass.
And play. So I'm like, I don't necessarily need an Xbox because I technically would have a handheld PC.
Yeah.
So that's also why I really want a Steam Deck, is because there are a lot of Xbox exclusives coming out in the future that I won't be able to play otherwise. Because I also, like, my gaming laptop is I don't like gaming on my laptop, you know?
Yeah, me neither.
So I would probably be happier with a Steam Deck, which you can also buy a dock for and get Game Pass. Sorry.
Yeah. So we got to get next on the agenda. We got PS5's new Steam Deck.
Yep.
That's next on the agenda. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we should start wrapping it up. We should talk about what we've been playing, because we just hit an hour. But you and I have both been playing a lot of games, so I want to talk about what you've been playing.
Okay, the most amount of, I think, game that I've played, and I'll just talk about that one because it's taken up a lot of my time. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. That game it's so good. Like, I've been told in my life that I would have made a good prosecutor or like a lawyer, and this game just like pushes all those buttons that I love so much, because you have to like gather evidence and you have to take it to a courtroom and you have to kind of like argue and like find faults in what people say and like get the nitty-ditty like details and try to prove that they're innocent. And these games are so funny, like the characters. And the game I'm playing, the first one, that's the one I'm playing from, I think it's like 2003, 2004. It's on the DS. So like,
oh, damn.
You know, Nintendo DS. So I'm playing on the DS. I'm like old school. That's what I'm doing right now. And I have been playing it nonstop. I played at work. I would be playing it right now. Like, I think about it all the time. And I'm like cruising through it. I think I'm almost done with it. And I'm already gearing up to buy, because they have a Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Chronicles on the Switch. So it's like, I guess like remade versions. It just looks better.
Yeah.
And I really want to buy that. And I'm already looking online on like eBay for like the DS cartridges for all these like original Ace Attorney games. They're so expensive though, which doesn't surprise me. Yeah, they're like in the like 100, like for, you know, not even like the case, just the cartridge
itself.
Yeah, but yeah, I've been playing Phoenix Wright a lot, and of course I played through Stray, beat that second night that I had it. Loved Stray. Stray was amazing.
Yeah, I feel like we should
and it was
do a whole
everything that I hoped it
episode
to
about
be.
Stray.
Yeah, we should.
Because I
That's why I
remember,
was like,
because like,
I don't know
remember we
if we're
did
gonna
that
do
whole
it.
episode about Road 96. That was fun. I feel like we should do a
Yes.
whole Stray episode and talk about it because we definitely don't have enough time now to unpack all of, all there is
No,
to say about Stray. So,
it's true. But yeah, so Stray and Phoenix Wright, those are my two
mhm.
top games I played.
Cool. So yeah, for me, I played Stray. Downloaded it the night it came or the day it came out. I went to work, downloaded it when I got home, played half of it, and then finished the other half the following day. Again, fucking loved Stray. I do think, yeah, we'll have a whole episode on it. We can talk about it more at length. So was playing Stray, and then I've been playing Resident Evil 4
Nice.
because it's on
Nice.
PlayStation Premium, and somehow my Wi-Fi doesn't suck so bad that I can't stream games, so that's great. But I forgot how bad the camera controls specifically are.
Oh yeah, very yeah.
Because
Not the
I
greatest.
and I just feel like it's a date thing. Like the game is so old that camera style is outdated. Because like you're like now we're so used to having like it total 360. You can move the camera any which way. But for anyone who hasn't played Resident Evil 4, it's third person, obviously. But you can't like rotate the camera. You can, but it'll snap back to whichever way Leon is facing, which is really problematic if there's an enemy not in front of you and you're trying to look at it and aim your gun and like turn around, maybe they're behind you. I didn't get very far. Like I got to like the town center and like cleared out the enemies there and haven't done anything else because I was like, that was exhausting.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
the controls are very janky. Like even like the aiming, like I will say I do like the I don't know what it's called, like not a reticle, but like the beam of light
Yeah.
coming out from the gun instead of having a reticle on screen. Like I do like
Like
that.
infrared.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that, but again, like the motion of like turning to aim at an enemy is so imprecise. It's very clunky. There's not a lot of like precise movement. It's very like so it's like half the time I'm like I can't like I don't think I could possibly do a headshot.
Yeah, that game's really hard to get a headshot in, actually. I remember because also there's a part in the game where those things start coming out of the heads.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to like shoot them more. Yeah, thank God that game's getting a remake.
Oh my God, it's gonna be so good. I have been really happy with the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, and so I really think that 4 is gonna be good. When are they gonna remake the first one? Just saying.
Right?
I feel like they're probably waiting because it's probably a lot, because they're just gonna have to do, I mean, all of them are a complete overhaul, but like I feel like because it's so old, it's like it's like the Final Fantasy 7 remakes. Like they just had to build something completely different. So if because like there's no way they're not gonna remake the first one after the success of 2 and 3, and then 4 is definitely gonna be successful too.
Yeah, and like the GameCube, the GameCube first one remake or whatever, that looked amazing for the GameCube. And just like what they did with that, they didn't really remake it too much. Like it was pretty much the same, but there were some quality of life changes, and like I think there were some like monster changes in that. There was some slight changes in the first one on the GameCube, but again, it still had the issues that the original had. It was like kind of clunky a little bit. It'd be nice to like have that quality that the second and third and fourth remake have. And I'm excited because like I'm just a huge Resident Evil person.
Same.
So yeah, can't wait.
And they're remaking all the good ones.
Yeah, they are.
Don't remake 6. What? Who said that?
That doesn't. That needs to be buried. Yeah, who said that?
Yeah.
Let me wrangle them.
I know. Well, because people there's a lot of people who like 6. And I'm just like,
I know. I don't talk to them. Sorry if you're one of the people like listening, going like, I love Resident Evil. It's my favorite. I'm like, okay. You have your opinion.
And then I'm purposefully absent from their lives.
Yeah. Avoid them at all costs.
Also, I just realized
Yeah.
I love how it looks like I'm doing like a Shure microphone brand deal. Because I just realized like it's,
Yeah, mine's also.
yeah, they're perfectly in focus and just there.
Surely you're not, though.
No, I mean, I would love if they paid
Surely.
us to do. I would absolutely be sponsored by Shure. I like their microphones.
Yeah, I'd wear a hat, a cap,
Yeah,
a ball gown, like a jacket,
a ball
everything.
gown.
Yeah, sure.
It's just two like microphone like covering your tits like microphone
Yeah.
covers.
Drapes. Yeah. And I'm talking into them. Good
Is this thing
quality.
on?
Knock, knock. Awooga.
Well, I think that's it. We've gone
Mhm.
not way over an hour, but we've gone longer than we have in a while. I think we had a lot to talk about, so
Yeah.
it's about time we wrap this thing up.
Let's wrap it up. Send it somewhere else.
Send it
Ship it
to
off.
your ears.
Yeah.
Well,
Via YouTube.
anywhere podcasts are available.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can stream our podcasts anywhere that audio podcasts are available. You can also watch us on YouTube. Just search After School Special Club. And you can watch the videos, which I highly recommend. Because if you were here for the days where we had a set, I brought back the blue light today. And we'll continue to use it because the lighting looks great right now. So I think I found a good balance for myself. So definitely watch the videos. Give us a like. Leave a comment, rate us on iTunes and Spotify. It helps us, get out there more and get more recognition, which would be awesome. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for doing both at the same time, potentially. And we look forward to the next time we get to talk to you guys.
Yeah, we'll be back next week for sure. We're going to get back to our consistent schedule. So thank you for waiting. And we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.